Welcome to another episode of Jim's Allotment Garden. Okay, so I'm just preparing the ground for where all the gourds are going to go now. What I'm doing here is I'm putting, these are grass cuttings basically, and these are going to be very rich in nitrogen, amongst other things, but particularly in nitrogen. And the other thing that this is going to do is it's going to hold moisture in the ground, and also it's going to sort of warm the ground up as this breaks down, which it will break down quite quickly. As you can see, these sort of grey bits here, they've already started to break down, and the heat of this, I can't obviously show you in the film, but if I put my hand in this, it's actually quite warm. And as I was digging it out the pole this morning, it was actually steaming, so you know, you can imagine how hot it is. So what I'm going to do now is spread this all the way around. So the gourds are going to go from this corner here, so all of this here, along, and then basically all around here. So all of this is going to be gourd. So what I'm going to do now is spread all this grass all the way around, and I'm just going to very quickly rotate the ground over, which is going to mix all of this into the ground, so all the goodness is down there with the roots. Okay, so that's the ground prepared. So what I've done is grass never rotivates in very well, so what I've actually done is I've gone over it with the rotavator once, and then what I've done is I've just gone around and spaded it over as well, just to you know, sort of get the grass to go under the ground. But that's basically had a load of grass in, as you saw on the earlier clip. So that's all ready to go. So the courgettes are going to go in kind of this sort of portion here. Now courgettes don't need a lot of space. The plants are reasonably well self-contained. However, pumpkins and butternut squashes, they tend to trail all over the place, so they're going to go in this larger area here. So I'm going to first put the courgettes in here, and these need to go around kind of 2 foot apart. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put I've got 7 plants in there, so basically what I'm going to do is put 6 plants in there, and I'll bob the 7th one in somewhere along the line. Okay, so here are the courgettes. So these are the first to go out. These are going to be going down right down the bottom corner, so I'll just show you me putting these in now. They're a little bit small, to be fair. I could do with giving them another couple of days. By rights, really, they should be kind of this big. So those are the pumpkins, and these are the squashes. But they're all going out today, so that's basically the size of them going out. So I'll just put these in now, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, now as I've already said, these plants are a little bit small really. They should have been a bit bigger than this, but the first lot failed, so basically I've had to put them in as they are. Now, these calangias that you can see here, they're going to shift before too much longer. So they're you know, these courgettes will be able to grow over there as well. So that's the first one, and I know you can't see it from the camera. So there's one there, and I'm going to put one just here at the front. So the roots really the roots should have been a lot more developed than that, but that's what the roots look like underneath. I don't know if this is on shot, but it's just at the bottom here. Now again, like other plants, like the brassicas and that, what I'm doing is forming like a bowl shaped round, so when I'm watering I can target the plant, and I can get the water where the actual roots of the plants are. Now as time goes on, these are most certainly going to, you know, the ground's going to sink and the plants are going to get bigger. So one trick you can do is put a stick, just a short stick, into the ground where the actual plant is. And so as the plant grows, what you can do is you can tell where the actual root of the plant is, so you know where to water. So what I'll do is I'll put a little stick in these a little bit later on. You just need a little bit of bamboo really, just so you can actually see where the root of the plant is. Now I don't know if this is on shot for you. I'm just basically off the camera here. Sorry you can't see that. I'll just turn you around slightly. So I'm just here. This is the fourth one going in. And all I'm doing is just making sure that the ground is nice, and there's loads of grass in here. So I'm just making sure that they're in, and there's a bit of a bowl shape. Now what you can do at this time of year is cover these with a bit of plastic, just to give them, you know, just to keep them nice and warm. But I'm not sure I'm going to bother this year because I'm a little bit later putting them in. But loads of water. You can't water these things too much. And as I say, these will soon grow, and before you know where you are, the plant's going to be sort of 2 foot across. Okay, so these are the pumpkin plants, as you can see. That's what they look like. I'll just move the camera slightly. There you go. So obviously these are a lot bigger. Now these are going to grow a lot bigger than the courgette plant, so most certainly you need to give these a lot more room. Now I've got 5 of these going. I put 6 seeds in, and out of the 6, 5 come, so that's more than enough for me really. I only really need 3. But again, make a bowl shape round the plant. The next one's going to go here right by the camera. As I say, you need to give these as much room as you possibly can, because these will spread out and sort of trail all over the place. You can see the roots much better formed. I'm just going to put that in there, and then I'll put the others in and I'll show you what they look like when they're finished. Okay, so there you go, they're the 5 pumpkins, and they're about kind of 3 foot apart root wise. Now these things are going to trail all over the place. They're going to be going this way, that way. They're going to try and get on the path, which is why I need to put some kind of little fence here just to stop them going on the path. But just let them trail, you know, they'll do whatever they want, and you can almost guarantee the longest runner will have the best pumpkin on. So obviously the roots are here. Again, put some sticks in where the actual plants are, so you know where to water, because as soon as these start growing, obviously the plant's going to be 2 or 3 foot high, and it's going to be going all over the place, so you're not going to know where the root of the plant is. So to make sure that you water the root of the plant, put a stick in, and you know where to water. Now don't be tempted to plant the plant any deeper than it is in the pot, because they can damp off at the bottom if you're not careful. So always plant them at the same level as they were in the pot. Obviously a bit of a bowl round so the water will go down to them, but don't try and see, this one here is slightly too deep. Make sure that you plant them at the same level as they were in the pot, like that, look, you see. Because what they can do, just like cucumbers and stuff like that, they can damp off at the bottom, which means they rot off, and then obviously the plant's died. So never be tempted to plant them too deep. Okay, so it's now time for the butternut squashes, and there the plants look. I'll just take one out. Now I've got 6 of these to go in, so these are going to go along here. I'm going to put a row of 3 there, I'm going to put a row of 3 here. So these, again, you want to put these about as far apart as you do the, well, as far apart as you can get them really. But I'm going to be putting these around 2.5 foot apart. Again, don't bury them lower than they were in the pot. You can't really see that, but basically it's about the same level as it was in the pot. But make like a bowl round, so obviously you can water them. Then I'm going to put the end one in around here. So there's plenty of grass in here. Then I'm just going to put one sort of halfway between these 2. And they are a bit slightly closer together, about 2.5 foot apart, but these will spread all round. So you don't want the roots too far apart, because obviously you're going to be watering these on a reasonably regular basis. So you want them reasonably close so you can water them all together. Now, as I say, these are going to sort of scramble around all over the floor. So you know the actual plants are going to be reasonably big, and these will kind of spread around. You know, the shoots will go all over the place. So you know, give them plenty of room and put them near crops where they're not going to cause, you know, any problems when they do spread. So I'm just going to put the other three, which will be off camera, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so that's them all in. So these sort of 6 here. So these here, those are all the butternut squashes. And I've got a bit of a divide so I can tell one from the other. Then those are the 5 pumpkins, and then we've got the 6 courgettes down there. So what I'm going to do now is give them a really good watering in, and then I'll put some slug pellets all the way around, just to make sure that they're protected against those. And then I'll show you what they look like in a few weeks' time as soon as they start to grow. If you've got any damaged leaves on any of your plants like this, it's not doing the plant any good at all. So just pull the leaf off and get that out of the way, because if there's any disease or anything harmful on there, it'll just you know, cause problems for either this plant or any of the neighbouring plants. So if you do have anything like that, just get it out of the way, leaving healthy foliage behind. Okay, so just thought I'd do a quick tour of the plot, because you've not seen it for a couple of weeks. This is the inside of the greenhouse. Obviously we had loads of beans and stuff, all of those have gone now. They're all out in the garden. So we've got, these are all the tomato plants, again a bit sort of busy there now, so what I need to be doing is sort of separating them out a little bit. These are the calabrese, or the green sprouting broccoli. Now they're most certainly ready to go out now, they're just about big enough, so they'll be going out this week. That's a few more calabrese there, so you saw me putting in a few in the last video. These are the others which weren't quite ready when I put the others out, so these will be going out soon. This is the 3rd batch of sunflowers. The giant sunflowers, for some reason, haven't germinated very well this year. I've had about 20 germinate so far out of probably about 40 I've put in. So I'm only getting about a 20% success rate with those. The other sunflowers, the bush ones, the multi-headed ones, they've all germinated, but for some reason the giant ones haven't germinated very well. So I've put a quick tray of those in, just to sort of add up, you know, make up the numbers. Some more tomato plants. These are the other variety. These are the sorry, that's Moneymaker. Sorry, they're the Moneymakers. So we've got Allotment up the side there, and then Moneymaker here. That's some Alocca. Sorry, no, that's Ocker that I was given a couple of weeks ago. So I'll put those in addition to the other plants that I've got. These are some chilli plants that I've been growing in the house. Got a little bit leggy, so I brought them up the greenhouse so they can get a bit more light. I need to sort of pot them on, but a couple of them have been, I notice here there's a couple of them been snapped off. I don't know if there's been a bird in here or something over the last couple of days, but anyway, those are the chilli plants. They're actually this one here's a chili pepper hot lemon. This one was actually bought, and these are jalapeno chilies which I've grown from seed. As I say, I only need sort of 2 or 3 plants, so there's more than enough there for me. That's a second batch of lettuce there. Obviously you saw me putting the first batch in. That's the second batch ready to go out. Now these are the Rainbow F1 tomato plants at the back there. I'm only doing 3 of those because I don't need too many. And these ones here, these are the Gardener's Delight, which are the small cherry tart tomatoes. So I've got a few of those. I'll probably give more than half of those away, to be honest with you. At the end here we've got, amongst the weeds, for some reason I've got a weed growing there. These are the kale plants. So they're curly kale. So I've got 3 types of kale now. I've got the Patronge kale, the Scottish kale, and the curly kale. This curly kale is really good. It's a cash crop. This is about £1 a bag to buy in the shops, and you will most certainly get Off each plant you'll probably get 4 or 5 bags, so each of these plants represents £5 worth of vegetables, if you like. So you know, it is worthwhile. If you like kale, this is most certainly a worthwhile crop to grow. These are the bits and bobs down here that need to go out. Basically, I've got some hydrangeas, and I've got some of the black hollyhocks. They all need to go out, so I'm going to clear all these out. And the plan for the next week or so is actually to get rid of all of these metal trays here, empty this bed out, and generate a hotbed, which is basically what you do is you empty all the soil out of the bed, and then put down a layer of straw or chicken muck, and then a layer of freshly cut grass cuttings, and as that decomposes it gives off a lot of heat, which is what's called a hotbed. And then put about half, 2/3 of the dirt back on top of there, mix that up with some fresh compost and that'll be the bed ready for the cucumbers and the tomatoes to go in the next sort of week or so. Really, I need to get all of these in and get them going. The cucumber plants are here. I've bought all of these. There's 6 female, what's it called? Female F1 cucumbers. So they're looking a bit sort of yellowy, as though they've got either magnesium or nitrogen deficiency in there, but I'm sure as soon as I get them in the bed, you know, they'll be off. Right, moving around here, that's where the climbing beans were. That's basically the ones that didn't go, so they'll be cleared out in the next few days. Across the back here we've got these are the butternut squashes. So there's 6 butternut squashes there to go, and they're going to go down the far end, just the other side of the tunnel there. At the back of the rhubarb. These are the pumpkins, so there's 5 pumpkins there to go in as well. Down here we've got some more onions, which aren't actually for me. There's going to be a couple used for spares where I've got I haven't weeded out all of the onions yet. I've still got about a quarter of them to go, so if there's any that are missing, I'll obviously bob some out from here. But those are destined to go elsewhere, to be honest with you. Those are these plants at the back here. Those are the what are they? They are Nicandra. So I've got some more outside, but those are going to be going into the main garden. This is all the asparagus here. Now that's going to go outside very shortly, so they need to be sort of potted up before not too much longer. As you can see, they've really grown well. Quite a pretty plant when they're small like this, but they'll be going in to the asparagus bed probably this time next year, just to sort of bring up the numbers of asparagus plants I've got. These are the giant sunflowers. As you can see, there's quite a few that have not grown. There's still some coming through. As you can see here, some have been really late germinating and some of them just haven't germinated. I've taken quite a lot of plants out and put them in the garden already, so there's a lot more germinated than you can see here, but as you can see, there's quite a few. You know, there's sort of 5, 6, 7 there that haven't quite germinated, and some have been really late germinating, so they've actually been in the ground now for about 2-3 weeks, so they've been late germinating, but they are coming. I'll most certainly have enough to go around, but those are the sunflowers. The parsnips in the propagator, that's what they look like now. As you can see, I've got sort of 2 in each one, so what I need to be doing now really is pulling out one of the 2 in each one, so basically take out the weakest one of the 2. There's not much in that one. Let's go with that one then. And basically what I'll be able to do is really within the next I'd say week or so, I need to be getting these into the ground. Because as soon as this gets a second leaf, and you can see the second leaf is forming there, I found from experience last year that the root is almost at the bottom, and that's most certainly when you need to get them in. So obviously you only want 1 in each one. So I'll just go around and pull those out when I get another 5 minutes. So you know, you just end up with 1 in the middle. You need to be careful you don't pull the actual one that you want. So I'll finish those off later on, but that's basically what the parsnip propagator looks like now. Right, up here we've got those are the birdhouse gourd plants. Now these are the other lot that went in. sorry, no, that's a bean. So I've got 2 come out of there. These are these 2 here and that one there haven't gone. So I've got more than enough plants there. But again, these are starting to look a bit yellow, so they need to go out really. And these are the courgette plants that I put in. As you can see, they're a little bit behind because these were the second batch that went in. The first lot didn't go, so they're all ready to go out now. Obviously, all of the gourds, the birdhouse gourds, they're going to be spread about because they're quite a big plant. But the pumpkins, the squashes, and the courgettes are all going to be located sort of down the far corner. I've got a patch there, up to the back of the far tunnel, up to the back of the rhubarb, and then where the mashua is. All of that sort of far corner there, that's all going to be gourds and that. So I'm just going to basically put them in as far apart as I can go. So they're going to be probably about 1 metre or so apart, and I'll put loads of grass on top of them and all that kind of business. And then, all being well, they'll grow quite nicely down there. Right, okay, let's have a look outside. Right, the comfrey plants most certainly need to be cut down before too much longer. They're really growing now. They're, you know, I've kind of left them so that the bees, I don't know if you can see, there's a bee there actually now. The bees have been really going at them. There you go, look, there he is, if you can see him. But the bees have been loving this, so I've kind of left it a little bit. But before it goes to seed, what I want to do obviously is sort of cut this down and use that. Now a lot of that is going to be going into the greenhouse because it's good food for the tomatoes. So what I'll actually do is chop all that up and then dig that into the ground into the greenhouse. So there'll be, you know, as that decomposes in the ground, that'll feed the tomatoes. The herbs are doing really well. That's one of the hollyhocks I put in. There are other hollyhocks down here, but obviously they've been absolutely drowned by this comfrey, so that's another reason to get it out. It's most certainly the year of weeds. I've had that many weeds coming through. I've got bindweed everywhere for some reason. I've got it all through the strawberries. There was a little bit last year, but there's loads of it. I really do need to dig all these out at the back end of this year. I know I said I was going to do it this year, but I couldn't get around to it this spring because I was busy with other things. So what I'll most certainly do is, as soon as these are fruited, I'm going to be digging them all out, digging all this over, getting all the weed out, and then planting the plants back in that are any good and replacing them with others where there's some space. The oregano is doing really well. This is actually a variegated plant, but for some reason it stopped being variegated this year. There are the odd leaf, but it's predominantly, I don't know if you can look back at the earlier leaves, they're obviously variegated, but for some reason it's gone green, as has its sister plant over there. Mint at the back is doing well. This is the sage plant here, and the thyme's in there, so I just need to be mindful the thyme doesn't get smothered. Rosemary's doing well. Still got its the odd flower on, and that's the second oregano plant there with sort of mint and lemon balm around it, so that's also doing well. Right, where the yucca is going, I've not managed to dig over yet. I've got the chicken muck ready there, so all of this needs to be dug over, and this chicken muck needs to be dug into it. I still need to clear out the last few plants here. That's some more nicandra there, which are going to go into the garden. Some alpine strawberries. The leeks need to go in. Some sweet peas and that haven't gone in yet. And that's the verbena, which has got a nice little flower. There you go, that's what it looks like. But that needs to be going into the garden really. But them plants really should have gone out. I just haven't had time to do it. One of those things. The second comfrey plant here also needs to be chopped back. The asparagus is growing alright. Raspberries are doing really well. The espalier trees, I need to get around to doing something with them. They're most certainly needing cutting back, but I've got plenty of fruit on all of the fruit trees. Right, the potatoes are doing really well. In my last video I said that I spaced out the Allotment, and as you can see they are about kind of 3 foot or so apart now, so I've kind of spread them all the way along there. A bit worried about the rabbits having them and slugs and that, so that's why I've put this mesh over and put slug pellets around all the rest of it. These are the climbing beans. So they've only been in a few days, but they're doing well. Right, you saw me putting the sweet peas in. I think it'll either be this video or possibly the next one. Right, this is the first tunnel, the new tunnel. So as you can see, the lettuce is now doing really well. That's the iceberg lettuce. It's got quite a way to go yet. I'll just shut this door. Now this is the Petrarch kale at the back. So that's grown a few inches since it's gone in. And this is the Scottish kale up the front here. So that's doing all right. This is some of the calabrese or the green broccoli, and then that's the Aztec broccoli at the back there. So that's doing all right. The beans across the back there, they're all growing merrily. They've grown a foot or so at least since they've gone in, but they're all starting to curl round the sticks. Now, what you might need to do, and what I have been doing, is if your beans aren't finding the stick, obviously sometimes they flop over or whatever, you just need to encourage them and just wrap them round anti-clockwise as you look down, and then they'll sort of carry on up the stick. So some of them need a little bit of help, some of them find the wrong stick, so you just need to like unwind them and then put them back onto the right stick. But as soon as they start off, they'll be away. Now what I will be doing with the runner beans is putting some grass cuttings between and over them. Now that does two things. One, it mulches down the weeds between, because they're always difficult to get in there. But secondly, what it does is it holds the moisture in, and then as the grass sort of breaks down, it'll be putting nitrogen and that into the ground, which is exactly what the beans want. So I always mulch the ground with some grass if I can get hold of some. I don't normally use the grass that I've cut off my own lawn, because it's normally got loads of grass seed in. So I normally try and get some off the fields, but anyway, that's what the beans look like. Now, just coming out, I'll just show you what it looks like. Okay, so down here are the onions, so those have all been weeded out. These ones need to be weeded. This is where these are the parsnips, as you can see. 2 rows of parsnips in there, they need to be weeded slightly. The beetroot, I've lost a few of the beetroot for some reason, I'm not sure if it's slugs or what, but some of the beetroot is gone. That's the mastura plants there that you saw me putting in the last video. I've been picking at the rhubarb. As you can see, I've predominantly picked this side so far. These are all the leaves here. So we've had plenty of rhubarb off so far, and the rhubarb's been even thicker than it is normally this year, to be honest with you. As you can see, it's nice and thick. In fact, that piece isn't particularly thick. Let's have a look up here. I actually picked one out the other day, and it was got to be about 2.5 inches across. You can see what it looks like. It's nice. It's got to be best part of 3 foot long. Good thick rhubarb. So that's what the rhubarb looks like. I don't want to fight through there too much. I'll be damaging the leaves. But that's what it looks like. It's up to kind of at least 4.5 foot now, with massive leaves on. Right, this is the second tunnel. Now the peas have been a bit of a disappointment, to be honest with you. I was expecting the peas to come up a lot better than they have, but there's not so many. So what I might do is, I'm not quite sure why they haven't grown, but what I might do is just leave them as they are, see how they grow. If there aren't that many grown, I might just give it up as a bad job and actually put some of the gourds in here, to be honest with you. What I will be doing is putting one of the birdhouse gourds in here and growing it up and along this pole along the middle, to try to utilise the space in here a little bit. But a lot of the plants you're seeing here are actually calendulas. Right, on this side we've got two rows of perpetual spinach, and then at the back there's a row of swede. Now what I will be doing is putting another row of swede in. The beetle has got up the leaves on these. You can see those little holes, but that's the beetles for you. And there seems to be quite patchy in the row, so what I might do is actually put some more seed in at this end, to try and bring. I mean, there are a reasonable amount of them. They're not too bad, but what I might do is just put a few more seed up there. Now on the outside you can't really see, but I've put some sunflowers along, and I've also moved some calendulas to this part here as well. So all the front's all ready to go. Okay, and this is the bit where the this bit here is going to be the gourd section. So this is where all the pumpkins and everything are going to go. So I'm going to be planting them sort of around in this area here. Right, just walking up the beans here. So yeah, so all you need to do is just keep sort of wrapping them around the stick, and they will eventually sort of grab hold of their own accord, and you know they'll be away. But you can get some that try and wrap themselves around the wrong stick or whatever. So that's the back end of the the potato type plants. So as you can see, the nice is spread out. This is the back end of the potatoes. I need to do a bit of weeding. There's plenty of weed coming through now. We've had some rain. So what I'll do is I'll just go up there now. They're big enough to grab. I'll just it's quite important you do it at this time of year, because as soon as the potatoes get so big, you just can't get up the rows to actually weed them. So a bit of weeding needs to be done there. And we're back at the strawberry patch, which also needs weeding. So I think in summary, there's too many weeds. So that's what the allotment looks like this week. So I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today. Please don't hesitate to put any comments or questions you've got below, and I'll always get back to you. And I'll see you on the next episode of Jim's Up and Garden.